Yep, and I have started the recording, so please go ahead.
Okay, thanks. All right. So first of all, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. First of all, I welcome you all to Global Automation Bootcamp. And in today's session, I'm going to talk about how we can leverage the AI Builder capabilities with the help of Power Automate. So before we get started, let me just give you a little bit introduction about me. So myself, Dhruvin Shah, and I'm working as Power Platform Specialist and Office 365 developer in one of the company at Gujarat, Ahmedabad. And I'm a very active blogger and YouTuber, having 120 plus articles and 480 plus tech videos published on my YouTube channel. And here are the different social media handles where you can follow me, or you can simply use this link, which is linktree/dhruvin.shah. Once you click on that, it will redirect you to the page where you will have my all social media handles at a single place. So you can go there and connected me even after the session, or if you have any question. So now let's get started with today's session agenda, that what I'm going to cover throughout this entire 1 hour session. So first of all, just going to give you the overview about the AI builder for Power Automate. So at this moment, there are two types of AI builder model available, like one is custom model and second one is pre-built model. So today I'm going to mostly cover the pre-built model which is available, and I am going to give you overall idea that what is the use of each individual pre-built model which is available in the Power Automate, and how we can enhance our business capabilities with this facilities. So first of all, we will get started with our first model, which is language detection model. So we will use the language detection model with Power Automate. Similarly, we will use the language translation model, and we will translate languages from one language to another language, and then we will see like how we can fetch the text from the images. So we will use the text recognition model in order to convert our images text to normal plain text. So we'll use this capability, and then we will go with the sentiment analysis model, and then for text classification, entity extraction, and key phrase extraction. So we will be talking about total 7 models throughout this entire session journey. And I'm going to explain each and everything in detail, like what is the use of each individual model and how we can leverage that capability with the help of Power Automate, and which are the real business life scenario that we can have. So let's get started with our first thing, that overview about the AI builder. So let me just close this slide and let me just totally open my Power Automate. So basically, when you open your Power Automate thing, we have the AI builder section available. Now you just need to go to the build section, and now from here we will be having two types of model available. So the first section that we are able to see on the screen are the custom models. So here the thing is that we need to gather data, then we need to build, train, and publish our model over here. And now here some out of the box models available, like it is called as a pre-built model. Like here we do not need to train our model, or we do not need to publish our model. It is ready-made available. We just need to use that and leverage and enhance our business capabilities with the help of that. At this moment, as we can see here, there are 10 out of the box pre-built model available. They are business card reader, category classification, entity extraction, invoice processing, key phrase extraction, language detection, receipt processing, sentiment analysis, text recognition, and text translation. So the main purpose of this model is, like, let's say we have some requirement where we just need to translate the language from one to another, then we can simply plug this model and we can leverage the capability of it. We will see how we can do that, but this is the thing, like these are custom models and these are pre-built model. Now let me hand over to the PPT again, and now let's get started with some introduction part over here. So basically, AI builder pre-built model is something which help us to add the intelligence to our apps and flow without gathering data, building, training, and publishing our own model, right? So there are lots of example for that, like language detection, like sentiment analysis, like if we want to analyze some tweets, like if it is positive, negative, so everything we can have it very easily with the help of pre-built sentiment analysis model, right? So this, that was the overall idea. Now these are the pre-built model we already talked. Now we'll get started with one by one thing over here. So let's get started with language detection model first. So let me talk about what do we mean by language detection. So sometimes there is situation like we have some paragraph available or we have some type of statement available and we don't know that which language is being used over there. So at that time, this particular model is used a lot to us. So basically, whenever we add our text or any document, at that time what happen here is it will analyze that text and return the detected language and a numeric score. And the numeric score is something which falls with under 0 to 1. 0 means lower confidence and 1 means higher confidence. And a detected language returned as the script of the language. And there is one limitation at this moment for this model. At this moment it is only support up to 5120 characters in a single go. And at this moment, this many of languages are supported. Here is the official documentation provided by Microsoft, where we can see that at this moment around 60 plus languages are there. So this many of languages are supported, in which we have mostly most used languages as well as some Indian regional language like Hindi, Gujarati. These languages are supported. So you can just simply check this documentation and check the language that you wanted to have, whether it is available as a part of this model or not. So this is the reference link for that, and I'll provide that in the description chat window as well at the end of the session. Now, let me get started with the demo for this language detection, that how we can uh, detect the language from the provided text. So for that, I just created one sample cloud flow over here. So at this moment, I just manually triggered a flow. So I just had one input over here as a language. So we just need to provide our input. Then we just need to add action. So let's add an action. So first of all, you can use two types of thing here. You simply need to click on common data service, and then here we have an action called predict. So once we click on predict, it will show you all the predefined model that are available. So let's say here we want to detect the language. So simply we just need to use language detection model. So just simply click on that. So that will open up one text for us as an input. So here we just need to pass the variable that we just created above, that is language, right? So that is one thing. Now one more thing, one more action is also available, which is almost similar to this one. Like you simply need to click on AI builder, and here also you simply need to search for language detection. So here we have an action called detect the language is being used in the text. So these are the two different types of action which is available, one for common data service, one for AI builder. Anyone you can use over here, it will give you exact same result. So based on your convenient you can use. So I already use this thing, so I'm just removing this two action over here and expanding that I have used. So we just pass the languages, and whatever the output that we are getting, we just initialized one variable, and in apply to each loop we just printed out that language, that which language is being detected from there. So this is a very simple flow that I just created. Now let's check the accuracy and the result over here. So let me just add some languages over here, and let's see what we are getting as a response. So I'm just manually triggering this flow at this moment, and now let me just add some language over here. So let's say for an example, I'm just adding some Hindi language over here like this, right? And now I'm just clicking on run flow. Then let's see what output we are getting here. So I'm just clicking on done, and let's check the flow run. So let it to be run. The flow ran successfully, and now let's see the outcome for both the actions. So here also you can see that from this particular action we got the language as Hindi. So here we are getting the language code, right? And similar way, if we can see here, for that CDS model as well, it is showing the language as Hindi, and its confidence score is also something which is showing here as 1, meaning it has the higher confidence level over here, right? Now let me use some another language, let me just use some German language. So basically I just copied some content from the web, and I just added This language is something which is German language, because I put this content from the internet, and now I'm trying to run the flow to check the accuracy as well as the result that what we are exactly getting here. So let's see. So here we can see that we are getting the language as DE. DE means German. So if we are not able to understand the language code, you just need to copy the language code. Simply go to the Google and you just need to search for DE language code. So you will find that DE is used for the German standard and the language is perfectly detected here. Right. So this is how the language detection model is working with Power Automate. Now let's get started with our second model, which is language translation. So let me just quickly share my screen again. So let's get started with text translation. So as the title suggests, it basically translates the text into the new language automatically. So text translation model is something which translate our data in real time across more than 60 language. So basically it removes the language barrier in the organization and it detects the language of the data that you want to translate. So let's say for an example, I put some content into German and I want to convert it to English. We can easily do with text translation. Similar way, let's say we have some content in Gujarati, Hindi, and we want to convert it to English. We can do that. Also, it is also supported like German to Hindi. That conversion is also supported. So lots of capability is available for text translation model. And sometimes what happen here is when we are using actually in real life scenario where we have some SharePoint list, and when we are creating some multilingual list, like there is a possibility that any type of content is coming over there and we just wanted to translate them. So at that time this concept is really useful. And for this as well, at this moment it only supports 5120 character in a single go. So we need to take care about that. So now let me show you how we can use that text translation model over here. Right. So let me open up my second flow, which I already created. So simply I created a manual trigger flow at this moment. One more thing, for this overall entire session, I used very simple example. I just try to understand the concept that how the model is being used. Based on our business requirement, we can integrate this piece with any of the things, like if you want to combine it with the SharePoint, or let's say if you want to combine it with Teams messages, anywhere we can use that. Right. So basically I just took two input from the end user. So first is the text and second one is that translation language. So I just pass the en at this moment here statically, but it's just a text value. We will configure dynamically here. Now we just need to click on add action. We just need to click on AI builder action, and now here we need to search for the translate text into another language. The action is provided here. Right. So basically here we just need to provide text. So the input that we have taken here, that is my text, we need to provide here and translate to language. So here we will make it configurable. So we will just use enter custom value, and here we will take the target language code. So I already did these two things over here, and then in the response we are getting the translated language. So we are just initializing one variable and store the end outcome over here. Now let's say for an example, sometimes even what happen here is like we even don't know that what the language that we are passing as an input. Like here I can pass any Arabic, German, French, any language, right? We even don't know, but we know targeted language that I want to convert it to Hindi or English or whatever that we wanted to have. So what this model is doing is first it will automatically detected the language that we have passed, and based on that it will perform the translation. Right. So now let me just taste this flow and show you some end outcome that we wanted to have here. So let me just test it out, and I'm just clicking on manual here. So let me just do one thing. Let me pass some content. So let's say I'm passing this content which is in German and I want to convert it to English. So I'm just passing the language code as EN. And now I'm trying to run the flow. Then what happens? Let's see. I will show you the translated code. So here you can see that this is my German code, right? And it detected the language as DE over here. And this is the translated text. So this is converted to English, like nice to meet you, which means, so I passed this text and it converted perfectly in the English. Now let me show you some more example. So let's say I'm adding some content in Hindi, and now let me convert it to English. Then what happens? Let's see. So if we expand that, here is the Hindi language, and here it is converted to English. And here I know the meaning of Hindi and English, both the thing, because I am aware about both the language, and it perfectly translated that language, which provide us more confidence in the translation. Now let's say for an example, here I am adding some regional language, like let's say, let me add, this is the Gujarati language and I want to convert it to Hindi. So I'm just trying to run the flow and let's see the outcome. So you can see that even from Gujarati to Hindi translation is absolutely perfect. So it's not like we can only convert the language to one to another, like it's fixed like Gujarati to English or German to English, French to English. It only doesn't support that thing. It supports the thing that you provide here as an input. Whatever the translation language you want to provide, you can provide. At this moment, 60 plus languages are supported that I have shown in my language detection link as well. So based on your requirement, you can choose anything, and this looks really good and really impressing to me because it translates the thing perfectly. Now that was the second model, which was the text translation. Now let me talk about another third model, which is uh, text recognition model. So let me get started that what do we mean by text recognition. So basically, text recognition is something when we have some PDF files or we have some images and we just wanted to find out the text from the images. At the time, this text recognition model helps us a lot. And basically, this use OCR technique. So it read the sentences line by line from the images and it will provide us the accurate result over there. Now, at this moment, it is supporting only Dutch, English, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish language. And the file that we need to provide is should be in the form of JPG, PNG, BMP, and PDF, and it should not be more than 20 MB. So these are the few consideration we need to consider in our mind. Now let's go to the demo part and let me explain you what we wanted to achieve here. So let me just open up one image file to you. Let's say for an example, this is one PNG file that I have downloaded from the Google. So basically it has some statement like this. It is the photograph of any book page. Now I wanted to convert this. I just wanted to recognize the text from these particular images. So what my model will do is it will read the things line by line and provide us the end outcome. So let me show you that thing over here. So I just created this flow already. So I just triggered a manual flow, and from add input, we just took the file variable over here. So we are going to upload a file from here. Now, similar way, we just need to add an action. So basically just go to the common data service and we just need to search for the predict action. So let's search for that. And from here, we have the text recognition model. So we just need to select that. All right. Now what we need to do here is we just need to provide our image path. So whatever the image that we are uploading here, we just need to provide here, and based on that it will provide the line by line statements over there, right? So let me just remove this one and let me show you the end outcome. I request everyone to be on mute, please. If anyone has any question, we'll go at last. All right, so we just use the predict action over here, and as I told you, it will give us the line by line thing over here. So I just initialized one array variable that extracted lines, and I just apply a loop on the result set. And on result set, I'm appending everything to the array variable. And at last, I just printed the thing in the compose action. So let me just run one of the flow so we will get a better idea that how the actual thing is working with text recognition. So we are just using that. Let's import the file. So I'm just uploading the same sample that I just shown you. And now I'm just trying to run the flow and let's see what we are getting as an end outcome here. So actually at this moment we have used the manual file. You can also take like when the file is uploaded to OneDrive or any SharePoint based on your requirement. So it goes to the predict action, and now you can see here it started to detect the thing line by line. It shows all the position what it is detecting here, and every line item information is also being displayed over here. So let me show you like it goes to the apply to each, and it started to read every line. So you can see that the first line was the prerequisite from the image, right? So it has detected that item first, then it started to read the second line. So if we go to the second step, you can see that the second line has been detected. So that is how line by line everything will be detected perfectly, and at the end we are appending everything to array and just printing it to compose variable. So here you can see that the exact same information that we have in the image, it is being populated over here, right? So that is how this text recognition model will work in the Power Automate, and this is pre-built model. We don't need to make any extra effort, and this is also look very promising to me. Now let's get started with our fourth model, which is the sentiment analysis model. So most of us have already aware about what do we mean by sentiment. So sometime what happen here is we have some organizational Twitter account or some of our Facebook post or like any other social media post, and we just wanted to have like what's the sentiment of the statement, like if it is positive, negative, neutral, or mixed. So at that time, the sentiment analysis model will help us a lot. So let me just share my slide and I will just give you a little introduction about sentiment analysis, and then we'll move forward. So basically, sentiment analysis is a pre-built model which basically detect the positive negative statement from the text data, and it will provide us the statement in a form of positive, negative, neutral, and mixed. So at this moment, this pre-built model is provided with four types of sentiment, and it provides the document score and sentence score, which will be ranging from 0 to 1. 0 means higher confidence, lower confidence, and 1 means higher confidence. So let's get started with our actual demo part, and I'll show you that how we can use this sentiment analysis. So let me just open up the flow. Just a minute. And now let me just have the sentiment analysis over here. So basically, I just have a manual trigger over here, and then I just took one statement from here. So we are just having some manual statement, and now from here we will be having some predict actions over here. So similar way, we just need to use common data service and just add a predict action, and from there we just simply need to use sentiment analysis model. So simply just use the sentiment analysis model, and here we just need to provide the languages that which language is being used over there. So we are going to use English as a language over here, and we just need to pass the statement. So I just pass the statement. So that is one thing. With the help of predict action we can define. There is one more action as well, you can use for the sentiment analysis. So you just need to add an action, go to the AI builder and search for the sentiment. So here also you will find the analyze positive or negative statement in the text. Here also you just need to provide the language and text. So you can use any of this statement over here. And now once we use this statement, we just need to use the compose action and we just need to find that what would be the sentiment over there. All right. So now let me just run this code and let me show you that how that thing is about to work. So let me save the flow. And now let me just have the statement over here. So let's say I'm adding a statement like very poor service by customer care executive. So of course someone tweets like this, which means that it's a negative sentiment. So let's run that and let's see what we are getting here. So it ran successfully, and in predict action we can see here we are getting the negative response and it has the high confidence over here. Similar way, this action is also something which will provide the absolutely same result, that sentiment is negative, right? So this is about the sentiment analysis. Now if we add some positive statement, definitely it will give us the positive sentiment over there. So let's say I am adding a statement like I usually impressed by the level of care I received and would like to say thanks. So it's a positive tweet. So let's run the flow and let's check the outcome. So it will give us the positive prediction over here, sentiment over here. So let's see, here you can see that we have received the positive sentiment, and for this action as well we are getting the sentiment response as positive. Now this sentiment analysis is something which helpful in lots of real business cases. Like let's say if we want to notify our management team, like someone tweeted some negative thing on Twitter, so they will get the automated email. So we can extend this flow via by just adding some email action that if the sentiment is positive, then do not need to take any action, but if it is negative, just notify the appropriate department. So you can use based on that requirement. So that's about the sentiment analysis. Now let's say we just used all of these samples separately here, but in actual real life scenario we can combine all the statement together. Like sometime what happened here is someone tweeted on Twitter in some different language, right? So at that time what we can do is we can use the language translation model over here. So first of all it will translate the text to the English. Once the tweet is translated to English, we can find out its sentiment, if it is positive, negative. Based on that, it will notify the end user or management team that if it is negative, they can reply over there. And at that time, everything is handy for the management team. Like whatever the language the end user has used, no matter, it easily convert that language to English so that management team can understand and take an appropriate action on that. So there are so many use cases we can combine. Like we can combine all of these things together and create the entire good solution for business. Now these are four text translation and text recognition model or sentiment thing we talked. Now let's talk about category classification. Then we'll go with category classification, then entity extraction and key phrase extraction. These three models we will check. So let me just share my screen again and let me talk about the next AI model that I'm going to demonstrate here, that is category classification. So basically what do we mean by category classification? First of all, let me explain you that thing over here. So first of all, I will open up the homepage of Power Automate. So for pre-built AI model, we have category classification model available, as well as we have the custom model available for category classification. Both has used based on our requirement. So most of the time what happen here is, based on the business requirement, we need to choose the custom model, because category classification is something like it's totally depend on the business scenarios. Like let's say for an example, I have a customer care portal where I'm receiving different complaints or issues related customers for the device that they are using and all. And based on that I want to identify that whether if it is a software issue, hardware issue, or maybe if it is something which is related to customer care executive support and all. So at the time I need to use the category classification use model, custom model. Sometimes we have some healthcare system, right? So there is a possibility that someone had an issue, like they are getting a bad customer service from the healthcare department or medical team. So at that time those terms are defined in such of medical different type of medical or institution, medical department. So at that time we need to train the custom model. But this model is something, pre-built model is something which is supporting at this moment, like based on the customer feedback model. So pre-built model is something which is developed in such a manner that it only provide this many of category classification at this moment. Like if I add any of the statement over there, so basically it will only categorized on 6 categories, like issues, complement, customer service, documentation, price and billing, and staff. So pre-built model has that limitation. It only categorize with this 6 type of categories. Most of the time businesses have more than 6 categories. They want to identify more than 6 things. It's, if it is healthcare, it's about care, it's about positive sentiment, negative sentiment, it's about staff, it's about sales, it's about billing, everything, right? So at that time we need to go with the category classification. And don't worry, on my YouTube channel I provided everything, each of this model detailed in the detailed manner. I have complete step by step series available with the help of example and the demos that want to use. So in this model, in this particular session, by considering the time, we will use the pre-built model. But if you are interested to for custom model, you can visit the link I will provide at the end of the session. So let's get started with this category classification model over here. So as I told you, here it is a pre-built model. So it classify the text that we are providing or providing to our model, and it will categorized based on the or based on these 6 categories. Now at this moment it is not supporting more than 5,000 character if we are passing. And at this moment English, Chinese simplified, French, German, Portuguese, Italian and Spanish, this many languages are supported. So make sure that you are using the language which is available, which is supported by this model. Now let's have the demo for this thing. So basically I created one simple flow, that it is the manual trigger flow. So here I am just passing some sentences, and based on that it will categorize the text. So here also I just use the same predict model from the same action. So we just need to go to the common data service and just need to search for the predict, and here also it is providing the category classification model. And here we just need to provide the language as English, and we just need to provide the text that we are passing here. Right now let me just run this flow and let's see how it is categorize the thing. So I'm going to have some more examples over here, so we will get a better idea that how that 6 categories has been identified. I'll give you the example for each individual one. So let me just save and test. So let's say I'm just adding a statement that once again I'm usually impressed by the level of care I received and would like to say thanks. So let's see, someone is giving the compliment to our users, to the team. So once it is going to this particular categorized text, and you can see that it categorized that as a compliment, and it is providing its complement score as well, which is 0.41. So it's almost right. that of course it is something about the compliment, someone is giving compliment. Now let's say if I'm adding a statement like the employees were friendly and polite, so it is all about the staffing that we have done for our organization. So we are getting some responses for our staff. So you can see that it is showing the category as staff. So what happen here is when we use this type of model, we can extend this flow in a manner that if we have received some statement related stuff, we can directly notify them, something, someone has entered some text for you, so you can review that and take an action on that. Then let's say for an example, I'm just adding something like I want to refinance my home loan this year to reduce the cost. So it's all about like pricing or billing related thing, right? Because someone want to refinance the home loan, right? So it is showing the pricing and billing as a category over here, right? And let's say someone add the concept like, let me add some more sample, like Microsoft customer service help to resolve my issue. So it's about like their customer support team has done a good work for us. So basically it just find out the category as a customer service over here, right? Now sometime what happen here is someone is reporting some issue for the organization, like let's say entering like unable to submit my nomination due to internal server errors. So it's the system issue that they are facing in their organization, right? So at the time this model will automatically categorize that as a issue, and we can notify the concerned person over there based on our business hierarchy. And just add one last thing over here, like sometime what happen here is we are providing an information like for detailed video you can choose my YouTube channel or something like that. So at the time it will categorize as a documentation. So let's see. So here you can see that it identified that as a documentation. So I shown the mostly all the categories that are being supported, like issues, complement, customer service, documentation, price and billing, and staff. So if this type of if you have similar kind of business requirement, you can go with this already pre-built model available. Else we can go with our own custom model where we can define everything together, data, train the data, publish the model, and then use the with the Power Automate, right? So that was about the category classification. Now let's talk about the entity extraction model, that is the sixth out of the box model that is available. Entity extraction is also something which is available as a part of custom model, right? But here the out of the box model also has a great capability. Let me talk about that thing here so we will get a better idea. So first of all, let me talk about what do we mean by entity extraction and how it is useful. So let's say for an example, let me just do one thing. All right. So let's say here we have the entity extraction model. So sometime what happen here is you have the HR recruitment system where you are having lots of unstructured data available in your system. Like someone simply provide you something on the text message that the candidate name is this, he has how many of years of experience, his position is BI developer or Power Platform developer, he is living in India, or his email address is this, his phone number is this. So this is unstructured format. Now I want to convert that unstructured data to the structured data. I want to convert to a table format, or let's say entity format. So at that time, this model helps us a lot. So with the pre-built model, at this moment this many of entity will detect if from the statement you are providing. So it will automatically detect age, city, color, continent, country, region, date, time, duration, email. So many entities, or we can say that so many entity types are supported at this moment. So I'll provide this link as well in the description box at the end of the session, so you will have a look. Now let me show you the actual demo that how it is useful for with the help of Power Automate. Now, before we do that, this also has some limitation of 5000 character, and at this moment it is supported English, Chinese, French, German, Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish language. So if you are using any other language apart from this, it will not support. So now let me just get started with the entity extraction. So basically I just took the one sentence variable, and now here we are extracting some entities from our email text. So now let's say for an example, the same action I have taken here. Let me show you that thing as well. Just click on CDS and search for the predict action, and from here we have entity extraction model, right? And we just need to provide language and text over here. Right now, let's say as a recruiter, I'm just having some chat available over here, and I'm just adding some statement. Let me just add that. So I'm just sorry, it's not copied. Just a minute. I'm just trying to paste. Okay. So I just added a content like the candidate name is Rohini. She is working as BI developer. She has 5 years of experience. Her birth date is this, and she is single. She is living in India, and her email address is this one, right? I just have this type of chat available. Now this is the unstructured data. Now I just wanted to convert to the structured data, so that I can use it for the future purpose. So what this entity extraction model will do is it will just identify the most useful information from the provided text. So let's say Rohini is a person name. So you can see that this is the entity that has detected from this statement. Then similar way, how many years of experience she has, like that duration is provided. Her designation or organization is being detected here, like date time. This is her birth date, so it detected that as a date time. Then country region, she is living in India, so it is also detected. Her email address is also something which is detected perfectly, right? So most of the time from the pre-built model, around I can say that around 70 to 80% accuracy we are getting with the entity extraction model. But if your requirement is something which is totally custom, your business is totally different, then definitely you can go with the custom entity extraction model that is much deeper, and the entire course is available on my YouTube channel as well. So I will send the link at the end. But yes, this is the overall concept of the entity extraction. Now once this entities has been detected, we can extend this flow. We can apply it to each of the category, and let's say I want to convert that unstructured data to the structured data, then I can prepare some CDS table or dataverse table, or I can define some SharePoint list, and we can enter those data to those list as well. So that is how the overall concept of entity extraction is going to work, right? So that was about the entity extraction. Now let me just add some more statement for more understanding. So let's say I'm just adding a statement like Tata Industry booked 67% of profit margin this year. So let's see how many entities it will detect from here. So I'm just adding one small statement here, and you can see that it defined the Tata Industry as organization, which is absolutely right. And like here, it also detected the percentage, that was the 67%, and when they have booked the profit. So this year is also detected as a date time over here. So it almost detect each single information from the statement that we are providing, right? So this is all about the entity extraction AI model. Now we are about to end of the session, and I'm going to explain the last model of this demo, which is key phrase extraction. So now let me talk about that thing over here. So let's say if we go here and we can see that key phrase extraction, which will extract the key taking points from the text. So I can say that in the entity extraction, what we have done here is we are just getting all the entity names with its detected information from the text. But for key phrase extraction, it will just only took the key point. It will not provide any entity. Like let's say I'm providing some recruitment thing in my statement that he is a BI developer and all of this thing. So it will took only key points. It will not consider that this is organization, this is birth date, this is something like country region. It will not detect that manner. It's very simple and very easy model. So let me talk about that thing here. So first of all, here as well, I just took the manual trigger over here. Now here I just took one sentence, and here we just need to pass our statement. And similar way from predict action, we just took here that key phrase extraction model. Now here the language is English. I passed. So here also it supports the few languages, and we just need to provide the sentences, and based on that it will provide the end outcome, and it will took all the important key phrases from our statement. So now let's taste this thing as well, so we'll get the better idea. So let me just add a statement like the month sale in Seattle were down 5% in the March 2019. Now, if we run this statement, which are the key points that we will detect? Let's see that. Let me just expand our prediction here. And here we can see that the statement was this, like the monthly sales in the Seattle. So monthly sales is considered as a key phrase. Seattle is also considered as key phrase, right? And when we go to apply to each, we are getting these two important key phrases. And now let's say if we have some statement like Dell laptops are out of the stock from Ahmedabad city. So I just added this type of statement. So which are the main key points from the statement? So this is Ahmedabad city, Dell laptops, and out of stocks. So it just took the key points over here. So this is something which is useful. Like you just wanted to, have some important key points from your entire statement, and you just wanted to know like which is the important thing from the provided unstructured data at that time. Definitely, you can use this key phrase extraction model, right? So basically I almost covered like around we covered out of 10 we covered 7 models over here. So business card reader, then let's say second one was the invoice processing and receipt processing. These are something which I did not cover here because it is something that will take some time. But if anyone wanted to learn more about that, I will share the link. I have complete start to end demo for this receipt processing as well as invoice processing as well. Also for all these custom models, I have the separate demos. I'll share that now in the chat window. But before that, let me just go with the slides. If I missed anything, just give me a moment. Okay, so for key phrase extraction, we covered this thing. And now as I mentioned, these are my social media handles detail. And let me just open up this link again, and let me know if anyone has any question. And meantime I will show you the another custom models and all if you wanted to learn more about this AI part of the series. So let me just check my chat window. Okay, so just a minute. So here you just need to go to the playlist section from the link that I'm providing here, that is linktree/Dhruvinsha. You just need to click on YouTube over here, and here I have different playlist available, right? And from here you just need to search for the created playlist from here. And here I have different playlists for AI and all, AI builder with entity extraction. These are all the custom models. So text classification, form processing, lots of things related AI is already available here, like receipt processing, form processing, everything is available here. So you just need to visit this playlist and you will get more information over here. As well as from GitHub you can directly download the solution that I have prepared. So I'm going to upload, like you just need to open up this repositories from here. You just need to search for Power Apps or Power Automate, because for form processing, receipt processing, I combined Power Automate, Power Apps, everything together. So you just need to open up my Power Automate or Power Apps section from here, and you can directly download samples or GitHub solution for AI builders that I have prepared here. You can see all of the links over here. So no worries, I just put this link in the chat window. Just go through that and we would be having that handy. Just a minute. I will go through the. So I just provided this link here, and now I just have some question in the chat bot. Let me just go one by one. Okay. So the first question was, can text recognition extract the text from HTML? It is from Puneet. So text recognition model is something which is only supported PNG, PD, only specific format I shown in the PPT. So it is not supporting HTML at this moment. But if you have JPG, PNG, BMP and PDF format, then it will support. Hope I answered your question. Then uh, we have a second question from Vamsi. So do you have any demo for form processing model demo? Okay, so for form processing, I have separate demo. It will took around 1+ hours. So I have explained this custom model as well as the pre-built model on my YouTube channel. So please visit that. The link is available in the description box. Then we have one more question, that why use AI builder versus CDS predict steps? What is the difference, cost, functionality, or is just the same thing? Okay, so it's almost the same thing. Like what earlier was like, um, we can most of the time this AI builder action is something that has some more functionality. Like let's say for an example, if we are using the category classification, so sorry, category, not category classification, but language detection. So for language detection, if we use the AI builder action, then we have some benefits. Like we do not need to pass the detected language, it will automatically detect the language. While in case of if you use the CDS action, at that time those parameters are different. You need to manually pass the language, that is what is the language that you are passing. So with respect to costing, I don't think so there is difference, but in terms of parameters that you are passing, there are some difference. Like AI builder action have some more functionality, like we need to pass some less parameter compared to CDS parameter. Then how about calling API to the graph API? Actually, I didn't get that question. Uh, if David, you are available on the chat, you can unmute yourself, and can you please elaborate by calling graph API what exactly you want to achieve here?
If you raise your hand, we can unmute you.
Hello.
If you have any questions, please raise your hand and we can unmute you.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions, please raise your hand and we can unmute you.
Okay, someone asked a question here that what is the plan required by end user? O- Okay, so specifically for AI builder, we just have a separate licensing for the same for developing this thing, and for end user perspective I personally would recommend to support or take a support from Microsoft team, so based on your business requirement they will suggest some plan, but as per my knowledge it is requiring AI builder licenses, so separate AI builder license in order to use this model. Okay, one more question we received. Only specific language are supported in AI. However, the function translate can transfer any language to EN. Do you have experience with that? Um, However, the function translate can transfer any language to EN. Uh, you mean all end users want specific language are supported in AI. However, the function translate can transfer any language to EN. Do you have experience with that? Actually, I got this question for Laurent in the chat window. So, correct me if I understood the question correctly. So, at this moment, only specific language are supported in AI. However, the function translate can transfer any language to EN. Do you have experience with that? So, Um, basically, what's the end goal here that I am unable to understand here? It would be great if you can raise hand or maybe you can ask the question directly, so I can help you more on that. As I understood, whatever the language is there, we want to translate to English. That is something that we want to achieve here, or something I misunderstood here. And uh, one more question I had, that you mean to all end user want no, all end user do not need the AI licenses. Only mostly as far as I know, only for building this thing we need the licensing. For sharing thing mostly with the normal power. Normal licenses, the user can access the thing. For each individual user I don't think so we need to purchase the license, but still I am not 100% sure on this, so I request to contact the Microsoft license support team for this thing to have the clarity on this question. And meantime I will also try to connect with the MS team, and if I got the answer I will put some post on LinkedIn about this licensing for AI builder in easy language, so everyone can understand in a better language. Thank you so much. So I think I almost covered everything. Only one question left from Lauren. So Laurent, so if you have this question, if I misunderstood here anything, feel free to reach out on my social media handle, so I can answer you over there as well. So I think I only have 2 to 3 minutes available for my session. So thank you so much for your warm response and for your questions, and thank you so much for listening for entire 1 hour. Hope this session values for your time. Thank you so much everyone.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much,
Dhruvan.
Dhruvan. Thank you so much, Yash, and thank you so much for the opportunity for having me here.
All right,
All
we'll
right,
just
we'll
wait
just wait
for a
for a
minute for the
minute for
next
the
one.
next one.